The cockpit door flew open with a bang, and the pilot's voice crackled over the intercom like a gunshot. "Mayday! Mayday, we've lost both engines." Joseph's heart slammed against his ribs as the plane lurched violently, plunging into freefall, screams erupting from every seat. In that chaos, a burly passenger sneered at him. "Great, the ferry's gonna pray us to heaven." But Joseph gripped the armrest, whispering Ryan's name like a lifeline, knowing this dive might be his last. Joseph stared out the window of the Boeing 737, the endless sprawl of Midwestern clouds mocking his isolation. He was heading back to Seattle from a veterans conference in D.C. Just another routine flight for a guy who'd logged more hours in the sky than most civilians could dream. But today, the air felt thick with judgment. It started innocently enough. A flight attendant complimented his vintage Air Force jacket, the one with faded patches from his F-16 days. "Cool threads," she'd said, smiling. Then the whispers began. He caught snippets at first. "Look at that guy, all prissy in his seat." A middle-aged woman across the aisle rolled her eyes when he adjusted his scarf against the chill. Joseph ignored it. He'd built armor thicker than Kevlar over the years. Being gay in the military back in the don't ask, don't tell era had taught him that. But as the plane leveled out over Kansas, the mockery escalated. A group of frat boy types in the back row started chuckling, one mimicking a limp wrist. "Bet he's got glitter in his carry-on," one snorted loud enough for the whole cabin to hear. Joseph's jaw tightened. He wasn't flamboyant. Hell, he'd flown combat missions with a crew cut and a poker face. But something about his soft features, the way he carried himself with quiet grace, painted a target. Ryan used to tease him about it affectionately, "My pretty pilot," but Ryan wasn't here. Their last fight had ended with slammed doors and unspoken regrets. Joseph pulled out his phone, scrolling through old photos, him and Ryan at Golden Gate Park, arms around each other under the bridge's shadow. The memories stung like turbulence. The plane hit a pocket of rough air, jolting everyone. The frat boys laughed again, one yelling, "Hold on, princess." Joseph closed his eyes, breathing deep. Flashback to how it all began. Years ago in San Diego. He'd just mustered out after a decade in the Air Force. Call sign Shadowhawk, earned in a daring night raid over hostile territory, evading SAMs to extract a pinned-down squad. The brass had pinned a medal on him quietly. No parades for guys like him back then. Ryan was a civilian contractor, rugged and straight-laced, fixing jets at Miramar. They met at a dive bar off base. Joseph nursing a beer, Ryan buying rounds. "You're that pilot everyone's whispering about," Ryan had said, sliding onto the stool beside him. "The one who ghosted through enemy fire like a damn shadow." Joseph had blushed, rare for him, and Ryan's grin lit up the dim room. Sparks flew fast. Ryan, with his broad shoulders and easy laugh, didn't care about labels. "Love's love," he'd shrug when friends pried. They built a life. Cozy apartment overlooking the bay, weekend hikes in the Sierras, nights tangled in sheets where Joseph's scars from ejecting over Iraq faded under Ryan's touch. But love in America wasn't always smooth skies. Joseph's PTSD crept in, nightmares of flaming wreckage, the ghost of his wingman lost in that final mission. Ryan supported him through therapy, but tension brewed. Joseph's openness about his sexuality clashed with Ryan's conservative family roots from rural Texas. "They don't get it, Joe," Ryan would say, voice strained after holiday calls. Then came the betrayal. Joseph found texts on Ryan's phone, flirty exchanges with an ex, a woman from his past. Just talking, Ryan claimed, but the lies piled up like storm clouds. Joseph confronted him one rainy night in their kitchen. "You're ashamed of me," Joseph accused, voice breaking. Ryan's face crumpled. "No, it's them, my folks, the job. I love you, but what?" The what hung between them, shattering the trust. Joseph packed a bag, left for the conference to clear his head. Now, on this godforsaken flight, the mockery felt like salt in the wound. A kid in the row ahead turned, staring openly. "Mom, is he?" "You know," the mother shushed him, but her glare said enough. Joseph shifted, pulling his jacket closer. The call sign Shadowhawk echoed in his mind, not just a nickname, but a legend whispered in hangars. He'd saved 20 lives that night, threading the needle between missiles, his voice steady over the radio. "Hang tight, boys, Hawks inbound." The Air Force had etched it into lore, even if the public never knew. If these idiots only understood. The flight attendant passed, offering water. "Ignore them, Han," she murmured. Joseph nodded gratefully. But as drinks were served, the frat boys amped up, one tossing a crumpled napkin his way. "Catch, Sparkle boy," laughter rippled. Joseph's fists clenched. He wanted to stand, declare his truths, medals, missions, the man who'd loved him fiercely once. Instead, he whispered to himself, "Steady, Shadow." Hours ticked by, the plane droning toward the Rockies. Joseph dozed fitfully, dreaming of Ryan's hands on his skin, the betrayal twisting into longing. Wake up to more Snickers. A businessman nearby joined in subtly, muttering about agenda pushers in the military. Joseph's service, once a shield, now felt exposed. He'd come out post-DADT repeal, proud but vulnerable. Ryan had been his anchor, until he wasn't. Suddenly, the plane shuddered violently. Alarms blared. The captain's voice boomed, "Folks, we've got engine trouble, brace yourselves." Panic surged. Oxygen masks dropped. Joseph's training kicked in, assess. He unbuckled, moving toward the front despite shouts. "Sir, stay seated," a crew member yelled. But Joseph knew skies. He spotted the co-pilot's distress. In the galley, he grabbed a radio handset, instinct from Sims. "This is Shadowhawk, former F-16 pilot. Callsign verified. Divert to nearest base. I've got procedures." The cockpit hesitated. Then, "Copy that." Nellis AFB diverting. Whispers spread. "Who's Shadowhawk?" The mockers fell silent, confusion replacing sneers. As the plane descended toward Nevada's desert base, radio chatter crackled. "Nellis Tower. Inbound civilian with hero aboard. Shadowhawk requesting priority." Ground control's response. "Affirmative." Full honor guard standing by. The cabin hushed. Joseph's heart raced. Not fear, but vindication. Touchdown was rough, tires screeching on military tarmac. Emergency crews swarmed, but then salutes. Dozens of airmen in crisp blues lined the jetway, snapping rigid tributes as Joseph deplaned first. "Welcome home, Shadowhawk," the base commander said, hand extended. The mockers trailed behind, faces ashen. One frat boy stammered, "Wait, You're? Joseph met their eyes coolly. Yeah. And I just saved your asses. News rippled. Reporters at the gate. Cameras flashing. Joseph's story broke. The gay vet who'd flown through hell, now saluted like royalty. Back in Seattle, Ryan watched the feed, tears streaming. He'd betrayed the best man he'd known, driven by fear. Dialing Joseph's number, he whispered, "I'm sorry. Come home." But Joseph, amid the cheers, felt the weight lift. Love had scarred him, but heroism defined him. In America's vast skies, he'd found his true wingman himself. Joseph stepped off the jet into the blistering Nevada sun, the salutes hitting him like afterburners. Airmen stood at attention, fists to brows, their eyes gleaming with unspoken brotherhood. The base commander, a grizzled colonel with a mustache like steel wool, gripped his hand. "Shadowhawk, it's an honor. Your call sign's etched in our history books." Joseph nodded, throat tight. Behind him, the passengers disembarked sheepishly, the mockers avoiding his gaze. The frat boys muttered apologies, one shoving forward awkwardly. "Man, we didn't know." "Sorry." Joseph waved it off. "Ignorance flies low. Just learn from it." Reporters swarmed as he crossed the tarmac. Mics thrust like bayonets. "Captain Joseph Hale, is it true you earned Shadowhawk in Operation Enduring Freedom? How does it feel, coming out as gay after all that service?" Joseph paused, the American flag snapping overhead. "Feels like home," he said simply. "I flew for my country, not headlines. Love who I love, serve how I serve, that's the American way." Flashbulbs popped. Inside, though, Ryan's face haunted him. The betrayal replayed those texts, Ryan's excuses crumbling under Joseph's hurt stare. They'd met in that San Diego bar 5 years back. Joseph fresh from deployment, scars hidden under fatigues. Ryan, with his oil-stained hands and Texas drawl, bought him a shot. "Heard you pulled off the impossible up there," Ryan said, eyes locking. Conversation flowed. Jets, dreams, the loneliness of barracks life. Joseph opened up about hiding his sexuality, the DADT minefield. Ryan listened, no judgment. "Screw the rules. You're a hero in my book." Their first kiss was in Ryan's truck, parked by the ocean, waves crashing like applause. Life accelerated. Ryan moved in, their apartment a nest of flight manuals and takeout boxes. Weekends, they'd drive to Joshua Tree, stargazing under vast skies. Ryan traced Joseph's tattoos, eagle wings over his heart. "This one's for you," Joseph joked. Intimacy deepened. Ryan's strength complemented Joseph's grace. But shadows loomed. Joseph's nightmares intensified, flak exploding, his wingman's chute failing. Ryan held him through sweats, whispering, "I've got you." The crack appeared subtly. Ryan's family visited, Bible thumpers from Amarillo. Dinner turned tense when Joseph's hand brushed Ryan's. "He's just a friend." Ryan lied smoothly, avoiding Joseph's eyes. Later, alone, Joseph confronted. "Friends don't share beds." Ryan sighed. "They're old school, Joe. Give it time." Time stretched, resentment building. Joseph pushed for commitment. A ring, maybe, but Ryan balked. Marriage? In this climate? Then the texts. "Miss you, babe. Drink soon." To his ex. Sarah. Discovery night. Rain lashed the windows. Joseph scrolled, heart fracturing. Who is she? Ryan paled. Old flame. Harmless. Lies unraveled. Sarah knew Ryan's roommate stories. The double life. You're ashamed, Joseph roared. Ryan reached out. I love you. But family. Joseph left, door slamming like ejection. The conference was escape, but the flight home mockery amplifying isolation. Now, at Nellis, Joseph fielded calls. The Air Force brass offered a hero's debrief, medals polished for display. You're a symbol now, the PR officer said. Symbol of what? Gay vets breaking glass ceilings? Joseph smiled for cameras. But inside, loneliness gnawed. Ryan's voicemail pinged. Saw the news. Proud of you. We need to talk. Delete. Betrayal's sting lingered. That evening, quartered in base lodging, Joseph unwound with a beer, staring at dog tags. Memories flooded. Ryan's laugh echoing in their kitchen, cooking steaks, dancing to country tunes. Romance's fire had burned bright. Lazy Sundays in bed, Ryan's head on Joseph's chest. You're my hawk, Ryan murmured once, post-love. But fear eroded it. Joseph's openness threatened Ryan's facade. A knock. The colonel entered. Son, your story's inspiring. Fought for freedom, lived it too. They talked shop, F-16 quirks, modern drones. Call sign fits, the colonel said. Shadow through storms. Joseph confided bits, the love lost. War takes tolls off field too. Empathy crossed the colonel's face. Find your co-pilot. Real ones stick. Night fell. Joseph dreamed of skies. Ryan's silhouette waving from ground. Wake to headlines. Gay vets call sign saluted. Mocked passenger to hero. Vindication. But hollow without Ryan. Or was it? America saluted him now. Perhaps self-love was the true mission. Back aboard a military hop to Seattle, Joseph reflected. The plane incident bonded him to strangers. Mockery faded against unity. Landing at Seattle-Tacoma, fans waited vets, allies. No Ryan. Joseph drove home alone, apartment echoing. Unpack. Shower, water washing flight grime, emotional residue. Phone buzzed, Ryan. Joe. Please. Hesitate. Answer. What? Ryan's voice cracked. I was wrong. Watching you today. You're everything. Pause. Forgiveness tempted, but scars warned. Actions, not words, Joseph said. Hang up. Horizon beckoned, new flights, perhaps solo. Shadowhawk soared again. Dawn broke over Puget Sound. Joseph's apartment bathed in gray light. He sipped coffee. News still buzzing. Interviews booked. Invites from LGBTQ+ groups. Shadowhawk trended. Memes of salutes mixing with pride flags. But fame felt fleeting. The heart's wreckage demanded reckoning. Ryan's call replayed, pleading. Joseph wrestled. Rebuild or release, flash to their peak romance. After San Diego, they road-tripped Route 66. Windows down. Ryan's hand on Joseph's thigh. Stops at diners. Stolen kisses in motels. This is us against the world, Ryan declared at Grand Canyon Rim, arms enveloping. Joseph's military ghosts eased in Ryan's presence. Therapy sessions shared. Progress marked by fewer pills. More smiles. Conflict simmered post-move to Seattle. Ryan's job at Boeing demanded discretion. Whispers of that gay pilot guy risked contracts. Joseph, out and proud, volunteered at vet centers, speaking on repeal's impact. Be you, he'd urge. Ryan nodded support but tensed at events. Tone it down, he'd suggest privately. Joseph bristled. This is me. Betrayal crystallized at pride. Joseph marched, rainbow armband gleaming. Ryan bailed last minute. Work emergency. Later, text to Sarah. Can't do the scene. Miss Normal. Joseph found them post-parade. Fury erupting. Normal? Our love's abnormal. Ryan defended. Pressure. Joe. Dad's sick. Families pushing. Excuses masked cowardice. Separation gutted Joseph. Nights alone. Flights metaphorical now. The plane saga amplified it. Mockery echoed Ryan's internalized doubts. Salutes validated Joseph's worth. Now, a knock rattled the door. Ryan stood there, duffel in hand, eyes red-rimmed. Let me in. Joseph stepped aside. Walls up. Ryan entered. Scanning changes, Joseph's medals framed prominently. You're everywhere. Hero. Sit, Joseph said curtly. Ryan did. Words tumbling. I screwed up. Sarah was escape, not love. Seeing you saluted. I realized I betrayed the strongest man I know. Tears fell. Joseph paced. You hit us. Feared judgment like those plain idiots. Ryan nodded. Guilty. But I love you. Fiercely. Gay or not. Dialogue stretched. Raw. Joseph aired pains. Isolation during deployments. Ryan's hesitance amplifying it. Ryan confessed family pressures, homophobic dad. Expectations. I internalized it. Stupid. Vulnerability cracked Joseph's armor. Memories surged. Ryan nursing him post-PTSD episode. Gentle hands. Romance reignited tentatively, a hug lingering, lips brushing. But conflict loomed. Joseph's rising profile meant scrutiny. Can you handle spotlight? Ryan affirmed. For you. Yes. They reconciled tentatively. Dinner at their old spot, clams. Wine. Laughter tentative. Bed that night. Bodies reconnecting. Whispers of forever. No more shadows, Ryan vowed. Yet doubt lingered. Joseph's therapist warned. Heal roots. Or repeat. Public life pulled. Talk shows. Where Joseph shared. Service taught equality. Love too. Applause. But Ryan fidgeted offstage. Subtle tensions. Ryan's glances at crowds. Whispers of too much. Climax brewed at a gala Air Force benefit. Joseph honored. Ryan attended. Handsome in tux. Speeches praised Shadowhawk's bravery. Then, a toast. To heroes who fight seen and unseen battles. Joseph teared up. Post-event, Ryan pulled him aside. Proud. But my folks called. They're coming around. Slowly, hope flickered. Intimacy deepened. Road trip planned. Mending bonds. But betrayals echo. Ryan's phone buzzed mid-drive. Sarah again? No work. Paranoia tested. Joseph confronted insecurities. Trust rebuilds slow. Ryan proved steady. Actions aligning words. Humanistic turn. Joseph's story inspired. Vet's outing stories. Unity growing. With Ryan, he found balance. Love's drama yielding growth. America, flawed, saluted progress. Shadowhawk flew tandem now. Yet, undercurrents stirred. Ryan's job faltered. Bosses wary of personal life. Pressure mounted. Joseph sensed retreat. "Fight with me," he urged. Ryan wavered, old fears surfacing. Seattle's autumn rain mirrored Joseph's unease. Reconciliation with Ryan bloomed fragile. Mornings of coffee-shared dreams. Evenings of tangled limbs. Ryan quit Boeing Whispers, starting freelance consulting. "For us," he said, kissing Joseph's temple. Joseph believed, diving into advocacy. Shadowhawk became Beacon, podcasts on gay vets, school talks blending service and identity. Romance rekindled passionately. They hiked Rainier, peaks piercing clouds like F-16 noses. At summit, Ryan knelt, not proposal, but promise. "No more hiding," Joseph pulled him up. "Embrace fierce." Nights, love-making healed. Ryan's touches reverent. Joseph's moans affirmations. "You're my everything," Ryan breathed. But conflict escalated. Ryan's family arrived. Dad, stoic rancher. Mom, warm but wary. Dinner tense. Joseph's stories met nods, but Dad's sidelong glances. "Military man's tough," Dad grunted. Ryan beamed pride, but post-visit, doubts crept. "They like you, but..." "Traditions," Joseph sighed. "Love evolves them." Betrayal redux. Anonymous email to Joseph's agent. Tips on Ryan's conflicted past. Sarah's involvement. Joseph confronted. Ryan swore off her, but investigation revealed recent meetups. Closure talks. Rage boiled. Closure? While we rebuild. Ryan crumbled. Weak moment. Forgive. Trust shattered anew. Climax erupted storm-lashed night. Joseph packed again. Can't fly wounded skies. Ryan begged. On knees. I choose you fully. But Joseph's heart, scarred, opted solo. Heal alone first. Departure airport bound. Irony biting planes. Once escape. Now symbols. Public fallout. Tabloids twisted. Heroes heartbreak. Joseph retreated to cabin near Olympic. Skies his solace. Reflection. Service taught resilience. Love. Boundaries. Ryan's calls unanswered. Humanistic pivot. Joseph mentored young vets. Stories weaving pain to purpose. Betrayal builds strength, he'd say. Ryan transformed therapy, coming out to family. Dad's call, son. Love him right or lose. Ryan drove to cabin. Rain-soaked plea. Second chance. Joseph weighed emotions turbulent. Earn it daily. Tentative yes. Therapy together. Slow rebuild. Drama peaked in vulnerability. Joseph's PTSD flared. Ryan anchored. No flinch. Romance matured deep. Honest. America's backdrop. Pride marches saluted Shadowhawk. Unity growing. Yet, true test. Joseph's book deal. Memoir exposing pains. Ryan supported. Co-writing forward. Launch event. Crowds cheered. Backstage kiss. Partners in flight. Human elements shown. Forgiveness not easy, but possible. Shadowhawk's call sign now shared metaphor. Navigating storms together. Winter blanketed Seattle. Joseph's life steadying. With Ryan, routines rooted, morning runs. Shared chores. Laughter reclaiming space. Memoir Shadowhawk's wings, Sword bestseller. Tales of skies and secrets resonating. Tours brought acclaim, vets hugging. You gave voice. Ryan tagged along. Hand in Joseph's. Defying stares. Romance deepened humanly. Anniversaries marked growth. Vow renewal atop Space Needle. City lights twinkling. Through turbulence, Ryan toasted. Intimacy evolved, conversations as vital as caresses. Joseph's scars. Visible and not accepted. Ryan's family visited. Dad offering gruff handshake. Proud of you both. Conflicts lingered subtly. Societal judgments. Joseph's advocacy drawing trolls. Plain story memed positively now, but echoes mocked. Ryan shielded. We've got armor. Betrayals lesson. Communication key. Therapy fortified. Turning pains to strengths. Climax subtle. Medical scare. Joseph's old injury flared. Surgery looming. Ryan bedside vigil. Echoing Joseph's past supports. Recovery bonded unbreakable. You saluted my weakness, Joseph whispered. Ryan, always. Ending humanistic. No fairy tale perfection, but authentic love. America, evolving, mirrored their arc flaws to progress. Joseph flew private charters now. Ryan co-piloting metaphorically. Shadowhawk's legacy. Courage in vulnerability. Love transcending labels. At Sunset Beach Walk. Arms linked. Joseph reflected. Mockery faded. Salutes endured. With Ryan, skies cleared. Our call sign, eternal flight. Fade to horizon, human, hopeful.